Just when I thought I was out, they pulled me back in.
Hello, everyone. I am Paul Everton, the host here at the Truth Table. It is November 20th, and Maxime is not going to be on tonight. Or today, but he will. I am rescheduling for tomorrow, perhaps at 1 p.m. I will post that something had come up, so he wasn't able to join me. But I do have another member of his party who ran a few times, and we're going to talk about Christmas party for the PPC in the Niagara region. If you live in the Niagara region, you are welcome to join and celebrate with other like-minded, wonderful people. You know, I saw this. I saw this poll, and I believed it. But if you look at it, this is 33%. Yet the graph is higher than the 38%. You see how that's a manipulation right there? It's not an accurate graph. It's a dishonest graph, even though it shows that the PPC has a majority. Now, welcome, Peter Terrace, my friend for a while now, over a year at
Yeah,
least.
thank you, Paul, for having me again. This is feeling good. It's becoming a regular thing. I'm really happy to be here again.
It is going to be a regular thing,
Yeah,
unless
awesome. I hope so.
until they silence me. But they're gonna have to like silence me because I'm not gonna shut up
That's good.
because our fellow man matters to me. I care about people on both sides of wars. I don't. It's the bombs that are evil and the people that pull the pull the plugs. Pull the strings.
Yeah.
And I was going to talk about this with Max, but we can certainly talk about it. Elizabeth May gets airtime in the media with
Yeah.
one seat. Virtually no say. She votes against us.
Yeah.
She votes for this $78 billion debt nightmare, which is all stolen. That's
Yeah.
that's not a surplus. That is like double. And he's building homes for immigrants. He's boasting about building homes. He's not building homes for Canadians. He's building
Mhm.
homes to facilitate this invasion. It's not based on compassion. It's based on an invasion. Um, but the media showed. Yeah, I think outside the box, and when the Green Party and all the other parties voted to exclude Max, even though he had the right amount of seats,
Yeah.
and they showed me that the media and they are all working together against Canadians. That there really is the lines are blurred between their platforms. They're all
Yeah.
like they're all working against us. So our choices with the media and the green, orange, the red, and the blue is Marxism, fascism, socialism, and communism. All bad choices. Do you want eco-fascism, plants over people? Oh, it's just absolutely. And those polls, that poll I showed you, I believe Max won, and it was stolen from him, just like 2020 was stolen from Trump. That's in my heart and my gut. That's what I feel because everyone I know would have, was voting or running for him, believed in him. He spoke to us. He spoke to our needs, our wants, and things that matter to us. Freedom of speech. Oh, and you too. I mean, you're an example of, one of the many people that we know that believe in the platform, which is very similar to the libertarian platform,
Oh, yeah.
which which I
Yeah.
ran in. There's even the Nationalist Constitution Reform Party. same thing. I have no dispute with anything in there. So anything that would enhance our lives is excluded from the media, excluded from the newspapers, and you won't hear about it.
No, that's right. And I think with Elizabeth May, I mean, that's a great example that you brought up of how much power one seat in parliament has. And this is why the globalists are far more afraid of a party like the PPC, because they understand how much power we would have just with even one seat. And this is the difference. We see that in Britain as well. Nigel Farage lost 7 times before he finally won. And now, if an election was held today, he would likely become the prime minister. They've got a screwed up system like we do, so it's not really clear. But he is certainly leading in the polls right now. And, I wish that poll that you showed at the beginning were true. Unfortunately, I know that it just wasn't. That's just not the way people were thinking in this last election. And it's really unfortunate. But I know that one day that poll will be true. The only question is when. And I'm going to keep fighting as long as I have energy, as long as I have strength. I will keep fighting to protect individual freedoms, to protect human dignity. And a lot of politics is about show and it's about theater. It's not so much about truth. And we see that right now. And I mean, one great example of that is Milton Friedman, the Nobel Award-winning economist. He made the point that this is just an example that he said that rent control is bad. Any kind of interventionism is bad. But as soon as politicians get involved, if they intervene in any human activity, they are seen as virtuous, as good, as generous. And this is why politics it's only tends towards these Marxist ideologies, these socialist ideologies, because that is what wins elections. You keep promising that you're going to have more programs. The government's going to fix your teeth. The government's going to take care of your children. The government's going to give you money every month for staying at home. This is what wins elections, unfortunately. What doesn't, and then they promise you that they're going to cut taxes. Only a liar can deliver that, because it goes against reason, and it goes against common sense, and it goes against truth. You can't increase programs while cutting taxes. It is a lie. You have to do one or the other, and that's why we're having a hard time right now. But when things are getting bad right now, and people will see eventually that our party really does stand for the people, stands for truth, stands for human dignity.
It does. I mean, word for word. I read all the platforms of every party. So Max has confirmed tomorrow.
Did you actually read the Conservative Party platform?
All of everybody?
Where was it? I couldn't find one.
Really?
Yeah, they hide it somewhere, and I never read the Conservative Party. I could never find it.
Well,
I could only find bits and parts of it.
That's because it's all full of lies.
Oh yeah, that's true too.
All right. So he did confirm for tomorrow that for 1:00, and you are also welcome to join. And
oh, great, thank you. Yeah, I'll pop in.
Mm-hmm. I'm just marking here. So let's talk about your party. Right here.
Oh, I'm glad you brought that. We have a Christmas party in the Niagara region, and there's the flyer. If people can see the menu, we are going to have a really great menu. It's going to be teamwork to get this together. We're going to have Wiener Schnitzel, which people get confused about what that is, but it's breaded pork chops. We're going to have lemon garlic chicken. We're going to have some vegetarian options as well, like vegetable medley, cranberry rice pilaf. A spinach salad. There's going to be a lot of great food. We have some speakers lined up for sure. We have one guaranteed speaker. We're going to have Lisa Robinson, who was a PPC candidate in Pickering, and she's currently a city councilor in Pickering. She's really doing a great job. She's undergone a lot of persecution. They've censored her from being able to speak for the people. She is really in line with our party and really in line with what we stand for about free speech and protecting free speech. And she's going to be there at the party. The party is on December 20th. Tickets are $45 each. It's a buffet style, no alcohol. Unfortunately, the hall does not allow alcohol, but it's going to be in Fort Erie at the Optimist Hall on December 20th. Starting at 6 p.m. is when dinner is going to start, but the doors will open at 5:30. And if anybody wants to buy tickets, the number's on there. The number is 289-241-7761. I'd be happy to, and that's my number, so you'd be able to reach me at that number, and I'll be able to help them out with tickets.
Yeah, and Lisa Robinson will be speaking. I'm going to have her on my show again, so I look forward to that.
Oh, great!
I'm gonna post this on our podcast so people can see it. Oops. Maybe I won't. Okay, here we go. Yeah, I have to message her and book her, but it's great that she's been. Oh my God, she's been through a lot. That poor girl.
Yeah, she's really been through a lot. They've taken away her pay. And really that's completely wrong. That's completely undemocratic. She was voted in by the people. The mayor or the council does not have the power to take away their pay. They say they do. I don't think they do. I think they're on the wrong side of this, and they're continuing to persecute her and cut her mic when she's speaking. But she's doing still a great job with her videos and on X, so she's still getting the message out, and I think it will be amplified. I think her message will be amplified, and eventually she will win as well. She will continue to win. I mean, she's already won. She will continue to win because she has the right message and she is standing up for the people.
But she reveals what we're dealing with. She's really showing us, that they've infiltrated these Marxists in every level of government, from city councils to provincial and federal. So
and what's
what she's
done. Yeah. What's interesting, Paul, is most of the people who are sitting in these municipal governments that have very liberal thinking, they wouldn't consider themselves Marxists. They would consider themselves free market, free enterprise, free speech. They would consider themselves that. But I think when you're in politics for a certain period of time and you don't have principles, you get pulled in, like I said, in this direction of these socialist ideologies because you want to appear as virtuous. You want to have this very thin layer of virtuosity without actually being truly righteous. And I think that's what the PPC and the people in the PPC want to do. And that's what I want to do. I want to be truly righteous. I want to do what is good, do what is right. And how do we define that? Because progress, if you're doing progress just for the sake of progress, guess what? You're going to progress right off a cliff. But if you have principles that are backed in something and with something, in other words, like for me, my faith informs my decision. My faith is a 2,000-year-old faith that informs my ideology, informs my decisions. I will not contradict that, and I won't contradict, and the PPC policy does not contradict my faith, and I will never contradict either one of them. If, for example, the PPC changed its policies and it contradicted my faith, then I would have to leave, right? But right now, as it is, and I don't think it ever will, and I'm really grateful for that, and I'll be able to stay as a candidate and be willing to defend those ideas and those principles vigorously. And I hope to do that for a long time still.
That's one thing we have in common. We have strong faith. I think my faith is why I'm strong enough to do this, because it's not natural. I mean, performing in front of large crowds, I can do that. I don't know why it's easy, but this is more, it's not singing a song. It's talking about really important things. And I understand the danger because of who we're dealing with, what they're capable of. The grip on power and the media is kind of frightening, and the polls and the minds of Canadians, really have been usurped by these people. People to this day are driving around with masks in their car alone. I mean, that,
I know,
that breaks my heart because,
I know.
this is the fear, this is the crime of installing this fear in these people. It's absolutely horrible,
Yeah,
unacceptable. Even if there is to me, if there's some kind of virus floating around, then so be it. Do not spread fear. Don't change your life. I mean, if we drop, we drop. You know, we have eternal souls, so don't don't worry. Don't end your living.
yeah,
We have to live, and we were born to live. We have a purpose, and fear is not a part of it, and it
no.
should never take over.
No, but fear is certainly a useful tool for people when they want to maintain control.
Yes.
Um, we've seen that with wars, with pandemics. You brought up the COVID pandemic. Absolutely, that was very useful in the wars. And you notice how in war, and I understand why they try to simplify things because they simplify Russia bad, Ukraine good. Thankfully, they haven't done that with the other wars, but they always try to do that so that they make it very simple that we are on this side, we are the good guys, everyone else is the bad guy. It's always far more nuanced than that. There is always two, as far as I'm concerned, the choice is between, in any war, you're never going to have a just war, completely a just war situation where you can defend one side completely and utterly, for the most part. I mean, there are exceptions to that rule, but certainly the one in Ukraine and Russia, that's not an exception. That's not our war. Uh,
No.
Choosing between Putin and Zelensky is like choosing between Hitler and Stalin. They're both
Uh,
bad options. You can't backing either one of them is bad.
yep. Yep. I vote for the people on both
Yeah.
sides that are victims. You know, and you're right. Our inherent right to choose. Like I crave cloned meat and GMO corn, but due to no
You are in
labels,
luck. You are in so luck. They're filling
I
up
mean,
the supermarkets with it right now,
yeah,
Paul. You can go
but
out
I don't
there
know
and
what's
you can fill
real
your
and what
boots.
I don't know what's real and what's not real. I may never be able to satisfy my inherent right to choose cloned meat and fulfill my desire to eat it. So where's the transparency?
Yeah,
You see
there's
my
no transparency with that. They where they want the transparency is in what you're doing. We see
yeah.
increased surveillance, increased government intrusions, increased interventionism in our daily lives. This is where the government wants transparency. They don't want to be transparent. They want
No,
you to be transparent. They want to know every dollar you spend, where it's being spent. They want to know everything you're doing on social media so they can shut you down. And I mean, I'm sure you've heard of Bill C8 and C9, which are full frontal attacks on our
yeah,
personal liberties,
yeah.
where they can shut down your internet if you
Hmm.
say something that offends their ideology.
And
Or,
and they control the narrative already.
yeah,
They've got the media around their fingers.
yeah.
But I mean,
And in the
support.
and the good thing is in the United States, the mainstream media has lost its relevancy. Social media now in the United States and the commentators in the United States are now more powerful than mainstream media.
Yeah,
Here, we still have a lot of work to do. Our mainstream media is still very powerful. It's still much more powerful because we don't have that same machine
yeah,
driving the the shows like, for example, the Daily Wire or Tucker Carlson, which have pushed the right and galvanized them to some extent. Although now I've just been learning a lot about the infighting that's going on the right. But I think when they come out of this, they will be also stronger because they will be unified and they will have a vision. We need to do that here in Canada as well. And that's why I applaud you, Paul, for what you're doing, because I think that is exactly how we continue to get this message out. We have to beat
yeah,
the mainstream media using the tools that we have. And I think we can do it. The United
yeah,
States has done it, and I think we can do it.
yeah. And they can hear us, see our face. They can see that we're not pushing an agenda. We're not spreading fear. We're speaking calmly. We're not erratic. And that's what people do need to hear. These are this is the way Canadians have been historically. And Sir John A. Macdonald, he said, "We are a great country, and shall become one of the greatest in the universe if we preserve it. We shall sink into insignificance and adversity if we suffer it to be broken."
Yeah, and that's what's happening. We're seeing that happening now, where we have our history being erased by our politicians. We're actually creating division amongst potential separation. Alberta, the separation movement is getting very, very strong out there. And I understand it. I totally get it. When you see the monkeys who are in charge in Ottawa, you want to start to create your own country with a proper constitution.
Mhm.
And I mean, I don't know if they're on the right track or not in Alberta. I think there's some mistakes being made there if they do start their own country. But I understand absolutely why they want to do that.
Yeah, I understand too.
Yeah.
It makes perfect sense. I mean, like the PPC has a new policy now against imperial federalism. That's kind of the move with Alberta. I think it's like the only way to free ourselves from this carnage
Yeah.
carnival, carnage carnival, and that's what it is. He is destroying our country, enslaving us through debt. That debt is enslavement, because our debt owners, whoever owns that debt is in charge. And they can, say, "I want that money now, tomorrow," or "I own you." So we're being sold from under, the rug is being pulled from under our feet, and we've got nobody. The media is complicit, and the police work for the government. So we don't really have anyone except Maxime is he's very courageous to go up against the machine that we're dealing with today.
Yeah.
And I hope that we make it through this and free our country and make it better than it's ever been, because we have so much potential.
We absolutely do. We should be one of the wealthiest countries in the world with our natural resources, with the strength
Yep.
of our courage. We used to have unity. We used to be very united. Now we're very divided. We need to
Yep.
bring that back. I think Maxime is the one who can do that. And
Yep.
I understand a lot of these small parties that have sprung up. I understand why they're springing up, because they also have
Me
the same
too.
frustration. They absolutely have the same frustrations that many Canadians do. But it's also about leadership. And you can have great ideas. Like we talked to the guys yesterday from the Libertarian Party and the Federalist Constitutional Reform Party. I
Yep.
understand. Yes,
Yep.
they've got great points, but it's also about leadership. It's also about reality. We
Mhm.
have to also have a unified front where we're strong together, where we're all pushing in the same direction.
Yep.
And granted, these small parties aren't pulling much away from us, really, but
Mhm.
they're also not doing much. They're not also doing much in actually putting getting votes. We were getting votes 4 years ago. We were far more successful than we were in this past federal election. Uh, I know that'll turn around. That's why I'm not sticking with it just in order to win, but also because I believe in these ideas, and that's far more important than just winning. Yes, I want to win. I worked very hard in the last federal election. I knocked on around 20,000 doors, and the results just weren't there. And so be it. We'll do it again, but we'll work harder next time. We'll knock, instead of on 20,000 doors, we'll knock on 30 or 40,000. We'll try to get to every single house in the riding if we can do it. But that's eventually what's going to win, and we have to just continue to speak about our ideas.
Now I got a 14-minute video, 14-second video I want you to watch with me.
Okay.
And you tell me who he's talking about.
having met with the owners of Canada over the course of the campaign last several months, it's not for sale, won't be for sale ever.
So, who is he talking about? The owners.
So sure, he wants the viewers to believe that the owners are the voters, right? That the voters own Canada.
What I think.
We're seeing right now that whole thing unraveling, especially with our property rights being eroded, have been eroded for a long time. Now it's finally coming to a culminating point where our courts, our politicians need to stand up for these property rights, need to stand up for the charter that we have. Our charter needs to be stronger, but it's what we have, and it does enshrine private property rights. So we need to protect what we have. This is the reality of the charter. There are rights that are enshrined in that charter. We need to protect it. If our politicians aren't going to protect it, I don't know right now. We have to continue to speak about this so that people understand that their rights and their property is now at risk. People in Richmond, BC may be losing their property along the Grand River, close to us here in Ontario. Many thousands of properties may be lost. It's uncertain, at least for sure. And, in Richmond, BC, some of those people can't get mortgages now because of the uncertainty. That's how bad it has become. This is a reality that we're facing now. So our politicians need to stand up for these rights and need to stand up for the people who own these properties. And I feel bad for the Indigenous people who have no property rights. Those property rights have been taken away from them completely. And the Indian Act further enshrines and enslaves them to maintain this position. And the sad thing is, a lot of the chiefs are being very, very heavily enriched by the Indian Act and the program that we have. I mean, $32 billion last year went to Indigenous affairs. That's a huge amount of money. And yet they don't have running water on many of these native reserves. Why is that? It's because there's a lot of corruption on these reserves. There's no private property rights. We need to enshrine that as well.
But that's because the chiefs are a colonial creation. That's not the way things were before. They had elders and councils that did these sorts of things, and everything was recorded. So there was no opportunity to cheat or anything. It was a different world then. But I would like to see the reserves system ended. I would like them to have their property rights, where they can do anything they want with it. They have total freedom. And as a native, I know that they will take care of the land. They are good stewards of land. They respect the land, the animals, other people. Natives are a good people that have been demonized and abused so badly that a lot have turned to drugs, and it looks bad on the people, but the people are good people. They pray, they pray to God, and they have very strong faith. I do. And I pray a little different than other religions, but it's all the same God. There's no denying that. There's only one God, and that's that.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I know that with the with the Canadian government, and it's really an enslavement system. This whole reserve system, the Indian Act, it's very patronizing. We know better than you. You listen to us. You stay on your reserve. We'll give you money to stay there. Just don't act up and don't try to do anything that we don't approve of. And this is the same thing. It's all about control. I mean, we see this in everything that our government does, especially lately, that they try to control the people. A government ought to empower the people, not disempower the people.
Yes,
We
they
see continually our government trying to disempower us, take away our guns.
Yep.
That's not empowering us. Weaken our dollar. That's not empowering us. Taking
No.
away our property rights. That's not empowering us. Everything they do is disempowering us.
Yeah, and they're spraying glyphosate on in the forests and poisoning the land. Even the fish get poisoned by that. It goes into
Yeah.
the water, and all the animals are being poisoned. The trees are dying, and that's just one aspect. They put chemical plants that are polluting upstream, so it pollutes all the water. I mean, it is like a genocide. What's all these things that have happened are crimes to me. Glyphosate is a crime to me. Spraying it at all as a
Yeah, they've
farmer.
been using that for what, 30 years now.
Yeah,
And when Roundup had its own when they had copyright protection and trademark protection, it was safe. They kept saying how safe it was, how safe it was, how safe it was. Now that it's coming out, they no longer have trademark protection. They don't even care about being protected, like having their trademark protected anymore. And now the truth is coming out. That's convenient after they've made all their money.
and it's a crime, and it's doing harm, and nobody went to jail. So our system doesn't work. Simple as that.
Yeah.
Only we, the people, are the ones that are subject to the laws and harm. If we do harm, even if someone breaks in our home and we harm them, the family loses their father. And
Mhm.
that's they want to tear apart the families by allowing giving all that generosity to criminals to
Yeah,
know
this
that
is
they can't be hurt.
this is another example of how government continues to disempower the individual, the citizen, and the people. And we need a party. We need a government that is going to defend the people, that's going to build them up, that's going to protect their dignity. And I believe the PPC is that party.
And Canadians are good people. I mean, generally, I can say generally. I mean, there are bad people in every country, in every religion, but we can't generalize with any of it, because there are good Jews, good Muslim, bad Muslim, good Christians, bad Christians.
Yep.
I mean, like Jim Jones, he was a bad Christian. Absolutely. I mean, he
Yeah.
killed everybody.
Well, Alexander Solzhenitsyn, he said it very well in his book, The Gulag Archipelago. He said the line between good and evil, the line that separates the good people from the bad people, runs down the middle of every person's heart. So that means that every person is capable of good or evil. Good people are also evil sometimes.
Yeah.
Evil people are also good sometimes.
Yeah.
And so we want to try to have principles that lead us in the right direction, that bring us to more likely than not act for good.
My fear was, as a thoughtful man, my fear has always been that people are being pushed and pushed and pushed to perhaps insanity to make, they're pushing people over the edge, and cornering them. Like the digital ID will probably not be by force. They'll probably just take everything away from us until we consent.
Yeah.
It's my
Well, we
guess.
see that. Yeah, I mean, we see that in places like North Korea, where North Korea was not always where the way it was. It's a process. And when you see the process happening at the beginning stages, you want to stop it. In Canada right now, it's at the beginning stages. But if we get to that point where they are in North Korea, it's too late. You cannot do anything at that point to stop it because the system is so powerful. They've got the guns, the citizenry do not, and it's very dangerous for the people there now. And we don't want to be there. We don't want to be there. We want to stop that now while we have a voice, while we have the ability to speak for the truth and defend these principles that will protect humanity and the citizenry.
Yeah. And what's really sad for me is historically, the bad guy that we're told is the bad guy, the dictators, were actually good guys.
You know,
So-
exactly. There's no one 100% bad. There's no one 100% good. But the reason, I know, Paul, that's crazy. But the reason that our government, for example, vilifies any government is because when you're a soldier going to war, and you're giving people guns, you want to make it very simple. Kill
Yeah.
the other guys. And yes, we're all right. They're all bad. That's why you have to kill them. And don't think about it too much, right? So that's why, and you want to make it simple like that also for the citizenry. So they
Yeah.
see, oh yeah, we're good, they're bad. That's why we're taking your tax dollars.
Yeah. Everything
Right,
I heard
so
about Gaddafi was wonderful. Made sure everyone had a home. He gave money to, if you were having a baby, he gave you like 25 grand, and nobody paid for electricity. Nobody paid for education. You know, it was absolutely amazing. They got dividend checks for the oil sales. What a monster. Now,
Mhm.
Venezuela, why are they after him? Well, he ended usury like Putin, the banking cartel.
Well, Venezuela's communist though.
No,
They-
well, I don't know. I don't know. I don't believe anything anymore. All I know is what he did was he got rid of usury. He ended abortion. He ended gay marriage. He ended pornography. He banned pornography. He so I mean, dictator or not, he got rid of a lot of the garbage that we're dealing with. No
Yeah,
more,
I think
example, thou shalt not kill. So I'm definitely anti-abortion. Unless it, even if it's, the mother is threatened, then you can incubate the baby and you can find a way to save the baby.
Yeah.
Maid is unacceptable. Maid is,
it's terrible.
I mean, it's dooming their soul to kill themselves. They're making that choice. I want to die. So they're dooming their soul, breaking a commandment.
Yeah.
So Venezuela is not what we're being told. Just like Gaddafi isn't, and Saddam Hussein isn't. They're lying about him. North Korea might be a free, beautiful country, and it's all been a lie. So we have to question everything now.
True.
Everything the media says, because we're in I don't even know what to call it. We're in like a twilight zone where they've been lying to us for a long time. Syria, they're killing, massacring Christians, burning churches. And
well, COVID really opened my eyes to the media lies when we saw how much they were lying about what was going on in the Freedom Convoy. They were pushing the narrative. So that really opened my eyes about the media. And now we see that the media is not about defending the truth and getting the truth out there. In fact, they want to keep the truth from getting to the people. They are now actively opposing getting the truth out there.
100%.
So yeah, it's crazy.
So you see what I'm saying. I'm not the truth. Don't listen to me. I'm not Dr. Fauci. I'm not the science, and I'm not the truth. I'm seeking the truth, and I'm talking about it openly. I may risk, my freedom over that, but I mean, everyone that's watching is worth that. You're worth that. You're worth that sacrifice. I mean, the truth is the highest form of rebellion.
Yeah.
And my role is just to tell you that you have to question everything. They've been lying to us for decades. They've been hurting us, harming us, because our potential is a threat to them. That's why we have a vaccine program. Aluminum does not prevent disease. Aluminum hurts you. It's a toxic to the body, and it's in all the vaccines. So they've been doing it, ingeniously. They have very intelligent people behind this, but they didn't want to kill us. They just want to harm us. They want to make sure they've got a full-time customer. Our genomes are different, so it may affect me different than it affects you.
Yeah.
So, you
well, look at our children now. Who, I mean, yes, we are living much longer. So the modern healthcare certainly has had a lot of positive advances, and according to many doctors, that vaccines is the biggest thing that has created our health. I don't know. I question that. Maybe it has benefits for some people, but you know, when they start to redefine the vaccine, when you see autism on the scale of 1 in 29 children, that is unheard of.
Yeah.
60 years ago. 60 years ago, it was 1 in 100,000 children. Now it's
Yeah.
1 in 29. What has
Well,
changed?
well, it's
The
been
vaccine
usurped.
schedule is one of them. Maybe that's not the only thing, but why are they afraid to look at that? Let's
I
look
think-
at it. Let's make sure it's not the aluminum or not the mercury in the vaccines that's
Yeah.
creating autism, or that's making it more pronounced in our society. Let's find that out. Maybe it's something else. Maybe it's the food. Maybe it's the water. Let's for sure make sure it is not the vaccines. But they're not willing to do that.
Well, I
Why?
mean, they're spraying aluminum from the sky. I've had rainwater tested, and it was massive aluminum in there, 3,000 parts per million. It was more than anything else in there. But all the things that were in there, I mean, aluminum hurts your immune system. It weakens it. So it's easier for you to get ill. So, I mean, it is an attack on the body. And the reason they're spraying it is because we're in a point in time where we're coming to the biblical ending here. And that's what I see. I think we're in the last days.
Well, you know what? They've been thinking we're in the last days since
100 years.
thousands of years. Even in the Bible, in Acts 1, when Jesus is ascending to heaven, the apostles are asking him, so is this
Yeah.
the time you're going to restore Israel? So they even thought that that was the end time. So
Yeah.
they were right.
No,
You're right. We are in the end times, correct?
Yeah.
But when? Who knows?
I think they're doing I think for 100 years they've been doing like the climate change. Oh, the world's going to end. We're going to be all underwater in 10 years if we don't do something about it. This alarmism. But yeah, the church did that too. But I mean, I'm going by the signs. Because I read the book, but I think God gave me a special gift to see between the lines or something. I don't know what it is. I don't know how to explain it. But I don't know.
Like intuition.
God helps me to understand what's written, to see what the point is, and deeply beyond just the words, but looking outside the box. I mean, it's a really beautiful gift that, because I prayed for that. I said, I just want to know the truth. That was a prayer that's been answered, and the truth has been flying at me, and I appreciate it. I know it endangers me though.
You got to be open as long as you're open, and we're all. I think I am as well. Is at risk of this bias reinforcement, because I believe something. I'm going to be gravitating towards information and people that bolster that bias.
Absolutely.
We have to be careful about that. We also have to look at the other side and see, okay, why are they wrong? Usually, it's very easy, and you can tell very quickly why they're wrong, and then you try to tell them, and it's confounding to me how they can't understand that. How they can't understand, these many things about what you were talking about truth and about the search for truth. And you have to. I always have to be on guard that maybe some things I believe may be wrong, but I have to be willing to accept it.
Yes,
if I am.
It is humbling. You have to remove your ego, because it is humbling, and we want to think that we are correct. And I know that we have generational lies. I know that just by Gaddafi and Iran in 1953. I mean, it's been going on for 100 years or longer. So I went into all the other books. I read the Quran, I read the Gita, I read the Sumerian tablets, the Emerald tablets, on and on, because I want to hear what everyone has to say. To me, that's all archaeological. It's like a book, but when they're carving it in stone, I think that's where the truth lies. I don't think they were lying when they were carving in the stone. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you can. I would say that even with that, you don't know for sure, because we have people here, like even our liberals, like Justin Trudeau. I believe it to some extent, maybe not him, but many of the people who are following him truly believe that he has the answer. He had the answers for
Yeah.
Canada. They
Yeah.
would have written it in stone. They
Yeah.
would have written it in stone. The liberal
that is
things
such
that they were
a
doing.
good point. That is such a good point, which is why it's necessary to be for me to be outside the box
Yep.
and not to just fall right in, put all my
Yeah.
eggs in the basket. But I did want to hear what everyone had to say.
Yeah.
Because to me, it's historical knowledge. It's a lot of that knowledge was stolen, like in South Africa. I mean, the Vatican took all the archival, all the artifacts, all the books. They just stole it in
Mm.
in Aztecs. Ancient knowledge is all under the Vatican, and they won't let us read it. They and so that to me is very dishonest.
Mm.
It's a very dishonest thing to not only steal historical information, which is what it is. It's information. And I love that. I love historical information. I don't want it doctored or edited. I want the raw truth. Whatever it says. And, I will let my faith and my discernment say whether, I feel good about it or not.
Yeah.
And I did that with all the religious books because I want to know what is everyone thinking? Why are they fighting? I know why the
Mhm.
Quran and it's like the Quran is fighting with the Bible, saying, no, this isn't true. You're a liar. It's it's like an altar. It's like it was made to conflict with the Bible because they say Jesus wasn't crucified, that he, like Enoch, he ascended into heaven. He never knew death. So, I mean, which so I think I think the Quran was deliberately created to cause problems. I don't think it's a legitimate religion. Honestly, that's what I think.
Well, there's a lot of things in Islam which I don't really understand. I don't understand, for example, Muhammad, the prophet, when he was 54 years old, he had about 30 wives, and his favorite wife, Aisha, he married when she was 6 years old.
Yeah.
And he waited until she was 9 before the marriage was consummated. But to me, that's very strange. I don't understand that. I don't understand. I understand that that's pedophilia. That's sick. And I don't understand how people in that religion don't question that, or maybe they do, but there's enough other good things in the religion that they're willing to overlook that, or do they rationalize it as saying because he did it, it's good? I mean that goes against our Christian mindset, because if
Yes.
you do something bad, if you have sex with a child, that's never not good. No
It's
Christian will
inappropriate
say that's good. No
because
Christian will say that's good, right?
no,
Having
and
sex with a prepubescent
they're
child.
not emotionally ready. They're not physically ready. But I mean, all of them have a day, like with the Catholics. It is once they have a girl has her period. Now, see, to me, that's not appropriate either. That it just means that's when she's able to get pregnant. But you're not even going with the brain. The brain isn't fully developed till they're 25 years old. So really, I think that would be an appropriate age to encourage when you're fully developed, your brain is developed. Just because you can carry a child doesn't mean you should. But I think that's morality on my
I
part.
plan to let my daughters date at 25.
But I
Anyway,
mean,
Paul, we
the
should.
Talmud.
I'm going to have to get going.
Yep. We're gonna get in
But
trouble.
yes,
But
we need
the
to get.
Talmud has no restriction. A baby is okay for them. They
Oh,
say 3 years old, but they also mention before 3 years old. So they are the worst of all
that's so
religions.
strange. Yeah, so I don't know that. I have never heard of that, but that's very strange to me.
I read it. It actually they have in that book. They say it's a death penalty for a non-Jew to read the book, to study it. It's in that book too. That it's so they could come and kill me just for reading
That's a
that
major
book.
red. Yeah, that's anyway. I've
Red
never heard of
flag.
that, so I
Oh,
can't. I'll take your word for it, Paul.
let me tell you
Um,
something. These people are the banking cartel. They own Canada. They own the United States. They took over the Pentagon. These people are the ones that have no age. They're the ones behind all of the darkness in this world. But
Hmm.
anyway, I appreciate your
Well,
time.
I'll look into it.
No,
We'll
don't,
talk
don't.
about
It's
it.
a death penalty. If you have any
Okay.
questions, I'll tell you. But I love
Okay.
you, brother. I wish you to
Yeah.
have a great day,
Well,
and
thank you.
I look forward to seeing you tomorrow.
Yes.
And all the best to you, brother.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
And everybody at home, I want to thank you for joining me on this controversial episode of the Truth Table. I mean, I do study religions. I mean, I want to know what everyone has to say with a non-judgmental mind. You know, I use an open mind. Doesn't mean I accept or, uh, um, you know, follow. It just means I want to know what they have to say, and I respect that they say what they say. There's, you know what I mean? But what they say, you know, uh, is what they say. And that's that, you know, there's no complication there. And I'm willing to talk about that, even if it, you know, endangers my own life. Because seeking the truth is my mantra. That's what I do. That's what I want. I want to um, share that, share the truth with you. Hello, Anthony. Nice to see you, brother. I still want to have you on the show. I hope you're doing well. Are you doing well? How was your health? Are you out of the hospital? Yes, I am going to be. Maxime Bernier is going, he has rescheduled. Something came up. So he will be on the show tomorrow at 1 p.m. And hopefully uh, Peter will also join because Maxine only gives me about 45 minutes. So I look forward to that tomorrow. And next week, I'm really not sure what's going to happen. But thank you all for joining me on this episode 8 on the Truth Table.